everybody, it's Sagana Girl from A Fool's Journey Tarot Readings, and this is my little Bella. Say hi, Bella. And this is my third attempt to try to videotape a review of these decks. I tried to use my computer and it was disastrous because I am not particularly techie and I refuse to take the time to figure it all out, so it's always a bit of a kerfuffle. But now I'm back to just using my iPad and hopefully this will work. Okay, so the decks I want to review today are the Soul Card decks, Deck 1 and Deck 2. I purchased these decks last summer, so it's been about a year, and I had heard some friends talking about them, so I went on to Amazon.ca. Actually, I went on to Google first to search the images, and then I went on to Amazon, and Amazon had them both. So when I first decided to go ahead and get the deck, I purchased just Deck 1, and I fell in love with it, and so it wasn't long after, it might have been maybe a month afterwards, that I decided to purchase a second deck, because I thought that they would be really cool to work in conjunction with each other. And I actually, I've separated them today, but I generally use them together, so shuffled together, okay? So the deck was designed by a woman by the name of Deborah Koff-Chapin, and I actually threw away the boxes because they were quite flimsy, and the little white books are put away somewhere. There's no description of the cards in the book. The cards are completely meant to be used via your own intuition, so there is no set meaning. So in the book, I know it talks about some suggestions on how to use the cards, and I think it talks a little bit about Deborah's background, but to be honest, I can't find the books because I don't use them. So I'm just sort of winging it and trying to remember what her background is. I feel like she's some sort of therapist, psychiatrist, I think. Anyways, Deck 1, I'm just going to put my dog away. Come here, Bella. Hey, Dad. So the Deck 1 they're exactly alike backing, okay? Exactly same card quality. So this is the back. Very pretty, very neutral. Deck 1 is blue. Deck 2 is a burgundy red color. The cardstock is not super rigid, but I like it soft because I like to shuffle, and so I like the softer cards for shuffling purposes. But it is good quality. It is a little bit glossy. You can see that it's laminated. Okay, and they're a bit bigger. So, for example, I just happen to have here the this is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle. So you can see they're about the same size. A little bit larger than a standard tarot card. So there's the Hidden Realm card. So it's a little bit bigger. No borders, all art. Okay. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the images from Deck 1 and talk to you a little bit about what I do with them. So super beautiful images, really allow you to get deep into the card if this is the type of art that you appreciate, which is for me. Lots of really interesting depth, lots of, I want to use the word time travel. They seem to be indicative, or they seem to try to illustrate or capture the idea of traveling back and forth between segments of time, the present, the past, the future, which I really find interesting. Okay, I have not yet used these with any clients. I actually don't know if I will. I'm pretty selfish with these cards. They're very beautiful, and I've shown them to friends and I've discussed them with friends, but I don't know that I would use them to read with people. Part of me feels like, I don't know if my intuitive messaging system would come through. I mean, I guess I have to trust the process, but I just find I like working with these for myself, and it's just kind of one of those things that I just want to hang on to as a personal growth tool. Okay, So the way I use these cards is I found that I really enjoy drawing a card a day and then just doing some journaling. I'm a huge journaler. I like to journal every day. I journal about tarot. I journal about what I do during my day. I journal about my kids. But with this card, I find that as I started journaling on the images, I found that it led into a very creative writing process for me. And so I've been able to actually write some very creative descriptions of the cards. It's allowed me to tap in to my intuition quite nicely. Because there's no description of the card and there's no rule about what it means, I find that I'm very liberated with regards to interpretation. I also find that once I've drawn a card and written about it, when I draw it again, because it's all random, I don't feel like I need to get stuck in my previous description of the card or my previous creative moment with the card. So it's like it's a new story each time I draw a card. And these are all from Soul Cards Deck 1. This is one of my favorite cards. Okay. You could very easily try to ascribe tarot meanings to the cards and breaking it down into the major and minors. You would need to use both decks though, because there are only 60 cards per deck, so you would run out of cards in one deck, but you would be able to use the two in conjunction. I love them that they are also reversible, I guess. They're just super deep, very opening for me. I find that I'm very fluent when I am writing about these cards. The images are fabulous. Okay. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Soul Cards Deck 1. Okay. Now, for Soul Cards Deck 2, it's the exact same setup, exact same cardstock, okay, exact same backing, new art. So I like, again, it just adds to the dictionary of meanings, or to the palette, I guess, of meanings. And usually when I use these cards, they're shuffled together, and I draw a card a day, and then I write a little story about each card. Very contemplative for me, very easy, very accessible. I mean, I could just sit and look at the images all day. There's so many layers. There's so many places that it could go. I really enjoy this type of, I don't know if it's abstract art, or I like to call it intuitive art. It's how I like to paint. So anyway, some really interesting energy present. There are lots of animals. I really like this face and then the time. I don't know, there's just some really neat ideas here. Some of them are a little bit different. Some of them are very, what I would call linear and blocky, or cubist. I don't know if cubist is the right word, but and then others are very ethereal and very flowy and melding. Yeah, so you could go a lot of places with these cards, okay? I have done stuff with these cards where I would pull out a tarot deck, and then I would pull out my soul deck, and I would draw a soul card and spend some time with that and sort of get an idea of what that represents to me. And then I would draw a couple of tarot cards around that and see how those two fit together. I like to use this deck with a really structured deck. So I've used it with my very structured rider, my Robinwood Tarot, which is it's a RWS clone deck, but much more pagan in its meanings. And so I like that, you know, ethereal, esoteric, sort of can go anywhere description combined with the what I feel to be the preset thoughts and feelings I have with the RWS cards. So it's kind of a neat combination. Again, I don't know that I would use these for other people personally. I haven't really searched to see if other people have these online. I haven't seen any other videos done on them, but if you have these decks and you are using them for readings, I would love if you would video response me and let me know how you find them and how they're working for you. I'm quite passionate about them. I could just sit and look at the cards all day even. Like the art is just beautiful. You could completely just pull a card and have it out and see how the meaning changes through the day. You know, it could be one meaning at the start of the day, and then by the end of the day you might find that it draws something else out of you. And I think that's what I feel the most about these cards, is that when I journal on them, what comes out of me comes from a very deep, spiritually rich place. And sometimes when I go back and I read some of the things that I've written of the cards, I find it hard to believe that that was actually me that was writing that, because it feels so different from from my other journaling excerpts. So if you're looking at trying to develop some intuition, if you're looking at doing something just kind of fun and different for yourself, giving yourself a bit of a treat, I really recommend either of these decks, both of these decks. I was following Four Queens on her blog, and she's declared September Self-Love Month. So I can't think of a better way to love yourself than with one of these decks, to just really have some fun and spend some time being creative and just going on a journey. Really, really beautiful. So anyways, that's my somewhat offhand review of the Soul decks 1 and 2. Again, the creator of the deck is Deborah Koff, Koff hyphenated Chapin, Chapin. I bought both the decks off of Amazon.ca, and I paid about $27 Canadian for them, which I think is an outstanding price. I mean, they're beautiful decks. Be forewarned that there are no meanings, so the little white book is not going to be particularly helpful for you because it doesn't list anything. But at the same time, what a wonderful adventure to be able to take some time and just work through these cards and come up with your own prescribed meanings, or the Magical Mystery Tour that you get when you draw one card one day and then perhaps draw the same card a few days later and find that they completely mean totally different things. So anyways, that's my review of these decks. If you would like to post a video response, that'd be great. If you'd like to contact me on Facebook, it's A Fool's Journey Tarot Readings. Or you can email me at afoolsjourney72@gmail.ca and let me know what you think. Other than that, I hope to have another video soon. I have got a couple of new decks coming in the mail. I'm so excited. I'm getting the Ludi Lescott Tarot. I have the Chamonix Tarot that I want to review, and I also want to spend a little bit of time talking about the Wisdom of Avalon, and hopefully people will be able to share some insights of that deck with me as well. So here's to when I see you next. Blessed be. Enjoy the month of September, and stay well, my friends. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.